and welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way. Who are we doing? Fuck.
Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Oh, yeah. You're here.
Oh, my God.
The Miami Dolphins episode.
At least I didn't forget my team.
Oh, yes. The Miami Dolphins episode, 7-on-7.
Are you on medication from the broken arm? Okay. Roger that.
Yeah, all five of us are here this week again, 2 weeks in a row for Wade. And Robert's back to do his favorite team this time.
Yes, sir. Fins up.
Yep, so we're going to get lots of Tua talk. And,
Tua tag.
and as much as I'm enjoying this little banter, let's get started. Robert, who do you have as your Dolphins quarterback?
I think it's pretty obvious who I'm going to go with here.
Tua?
It's not Tua. I went with old Dan Marino.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I went with
Me
Dan
too.
as well. As much as I want to say Tua, I did go with Dan.
He had 242 career games, a 59.4% completion percentage, over 61,000 passing yards, 420 touchdowns, 252 interceptions, 47 game-winning drives, 1984 NFL MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, along with being on the NFL's 100 all-time team, Hall of Fame, all that stuff. I just don't really think there's any other quarterbacks. You can mention Bob Greasy, but, I mean, the Dolphins historically are not a great quarterback franchise outside of Dan Marino. So,
I mean, we seem to be doing better than last week. So, I mean,
You guys had Fitzpatrick for like a year.
Good old
Yeah.
Fitzmagic.
He's
Fitzmagic.
probably the best relief pitcher in the NFL, Fitzpatrick. But
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he came in for Tua a few years ago, didn't he?
yeah, several times.
Didn't he lead you guys in rushing? One year, weirdly enough, he led you in rushing one year as a team.
Oh my god.
Because all your running backs kept getting hurt, and he played enough games where
He might have.
I think he did weirdly one year. He led the Dolphins in rushing.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick actually did. All kidding aside, when he came in for Tua, when Tua was playing like he is now, he would come in and play well. So it's kind of crazy, just kind of coming off the bench. But yeah,
in 2020, he came in for 7 games, went 4-3 with a 68% completion percentage, and in 7 games threw for 2,100 yards.
now he's on Amazon doing the pregame comments. I like him on the
I think he
pregame.
does a good job.
I think he does.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think he does a good job.
Yeah.
I think that whole crew really does good. I was never a Richard Sherman fan when he was in the NFL, but I think he does a good job doing that stuff for them.
Yep, here it is. In the 2019 season, he leads you guys in rushing with 243 rushing yards.
Oh
I'm
my
not sure
God.
what year that was, but one of those years, it was Tom Brady's last year in New England, and we beat him week 17 and gave the Chiefs a 1 seed. I'm not sure what.
I think
year
it's
that
this year.
was.
I think it might be this year.
It was
maybe.
Fitzpatrick
Yeah.
that did it.
Yeah. This is weird. You got running.
Didn't you all draft him, Uncle Doug?
Yep.
Didn't you and Wade see him play?
Yeah, we did. Remember? We went to see the Texans and Rams play. He came in and won the game in overtime.
That's cool.
He
I didn't
was
know.
drafted from, I believe, Harvard.
Yeah.
And that one Rams coach, is that Martz? Ooh, who was there? I think it was enthralled with him because he scored a perfect score on the Wonderlic.
Mhm. Well, I just want to point out to Drew and Robert that he did go to Highland High School in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's that. I don't remember seeing he'd have a shrine at our Highland.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we can talk about Dan Marino since he's the guy we're actually supposed to be talking about. Does anybody else have anything to add on old Dano?
He's got 2 notable movies that he appeared in. One is Ace Ventura,
Yes.
and he was also in Bad Boys 2. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence stole his car he was trying to buy.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Good call. Alrighty. Well, I think that wraps up our quarterback there. And Drew, you got another position for us?
I do. Give me old Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I also have Tyreek.
I have
do
him
too.
too.
Hasn't been a long stint in Miami, but it's been a pretty good stint. I mean, every year it feels like he starts the year off like he's going to go for 2,000. If he can stay healthy, or if his quarterback can stay healthy, well, if Dan's throwing in the ball, he can actually get in the ball down the field accurately and not worry about becoming concussed halfway through the season. So
Tyreek Hill is probably not going to outrun Dan Marino. That's the one quarterback who might be able to
yeah, I about to
overthrow
say.
Tyreek Hill.
But
Yeah, he had in 2022, Tyreek had 1,700 yards, and then 2023 is when he was flirting with 2,000. He got to 1,800 receiving yards. I thought he was going to mess around and win the MVP that year.
that's what I thought. Yeah,
I mean, it was
yeah,
debatable. I think either Allen or Lamar won it, but
sounds right. Yeah,
he was definitely a candidate. He probably got some votes, but he's also got 25 touchdowns as the Dolphins. So
What's he doing this year, number wise?
he's down this year, which part of that's because we had. Well, Tua sucks. That's first.
He has
Clear the air there.
67 grabs for 805 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then Skylar Thompson, and we messed around with some other quarterbacks.
didn't Lamar Huntley start? Not
Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley. Yeah, started game.
But he's definitely had a down year this year.
He's 200 yards away from moving into 7th all-time in team history in receiving yards.
Wow.
So, yeah. No, I thought Tyreek was a worthy choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Cheetah.
All right, and Uncle Doug, you got one for us?
I do. You guys have heard me talk about him before. Paul Warfield.
I have him as well.
So do I.
Yep, I got him too.
So that's what, 5?
You
Yep.
got him?
No.
Just lost my phone.
As soon as I saw his name on their receiving list, I was like, well, Uncle Doug's going to have this guy. Why not?
I like Paul Warfield. Only played 5 years in Miami, but I believe he was All-Pro all 5. Well, he was in the Pro Bowl all 5. He was 3-time All-Pro. Those 5 years, he had 156 receptions for 3,355 yards, an average of 21.5 yards per catch.
Yeah.
Nasty.
When Paul caught the ball, you got big yards. It was just when Greasy needed to throw the ball, that's where he was looking.
Imagine having him and Tyreek with Dan Marino on the same field.
Yeah.
Pick a side, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a track meet. That's going to be nuts.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that?
You got Dan Marino, who is one of the biggest cannons of all time.
And you're not allowed to tackle his receivers. We're playing by today's rules.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's
No, yeah.
insane.
Things are starting off well numbers-wise for us, though. 665, so I feel like we're doing all
pretty
right.
good.
All right, Wade, I think we're to you, buddy. Who you got?
When I think of Dolphins receivers, I think of the Marks brothers.
Yep.
So I have Mark, is it Duper? Am I
Yep.
saying that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Duper.
Yeah, I
One
do
of
too.
the Marks brothers. They're 1 and 2 all time on their receiving list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think when it was from 82 to 92, 511 receptions, 8,869 yards, and 59 touchdowns. I mean, he's like I said, the Marks brothers are the 2 most accomplished career-wise Dolphin receivers. They were Marino's go-to guys. They were one of the few good players he had as a supporting cast. Yeah, they were both good. They had a couple of really nice years in their primes, and they had good careers.
Yeah, no, yeah.
How many of us had him?
I did.
I did.
So 5?
5 again.
All right.
I know how I feel.
Holy.
All
Still,
right.
it's a pretty good start. 6,655.
Indeed it is.
Ray's going to have Jarvis Landry.
Don't joke around, Robert.
Don't joke around. Don't joke around like that.
All right, well, we're to you now, Ray. So who do you have?
All right, so I'm going to start off with oldie but goodie. One of my favorite American Gladiator commentators, Larry Zonka.
I mean, I do like Zonka.
Yeah.
I don't have him, but I like him.
Put them in the screen game. Let them roll, baby.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 8 years in Miami. 6,737 rushing yards with 53 touchdowns. 4.5 a carry. Let's see, receiving 688 with 7.6 a reception and 4 touchdowns. So pretty solid running back who's in the Hall of Fame with 5 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 2 Super Bowl championships, a Super Bowl MVP. So pretty talented running back, I would say.
Yeah, he is. He was a good running back.
I don't even think he was a running back. I'd say he was a fullback.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
might have the old
Yeah,
FB next to his
because-
name on
Yeah.
Football
They had
Reference.
Jim Kick and Mercury Morris.
And they call him the Sundance Kid.
All right. Well, there's our first one.
Yeah.
Well, Wade and I had similar thoughts. I have another Mark. His last name of Clayton.
As do
Yep.
I.
I still have the other mark
Yeah,
as
I
well.
have him too.
Oh yeah.
Ray.
What was his name?
Mark Clayton.
Clayton.
Are you shitting me?
You don't have either mark.
You don't have either Marks brothers?
So that's,
Dan Marinos.
Ugh.
Those
there
are
we
Dan's
go.
guys.
This might be a really long list.
Maybe.
If Ray just has nobody we have, Ray's going to have 7 ones.
At least
Some
he had
fun weeks,
Marino.
guys. These are fun weeks.
Well, Mark Clayton, he had about 8,600 yards on 15 yards reception in Miami and 81 touchdowns. That's really where he separated himself from the other Mark. Was all their numbers are very similar except for their touchdowns, which is like 59 to 81. I'm not sure why. I didn't watch them play, so I don't know. But it did kind of jump out to me that he had such a prolific touchdown lead on his Eminem brother. So yeah, but yeah, I thought a worthy receiver for this team.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, I think we're back to our resident Dolphins fan here. So Robert, who you got for us?
I did have a running back on my team, but I went a different direction than Larry Zonka. I went with Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got him myself.
yeah.
So, and I mean, he was a head case, but I mean, he had 197 catches for 1,431 yards in Miami and 6 touchdowns. So I thought that was a nice little.
And how many seasons?
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
no, you're good. He kind of quit for a while, and then
That's when he went and
Yeah.
lived in a teepee. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Remember that? He lived in a
Smoked pot.
teepee and smoked pot.
He probably could have stayed here and done it in the house.
Oh,
Whatever.
Ricky.
It says that he played 7 years in Miami, but in 2004 he did not play because he retired. In 2006 he did not play because of a violation of league substance abuse policy.
Old TP.
But he played 2002, 2003, 2005, 2007, all the way to 2010. So he did actually play 7 seasons, but he took 2 years off, not in a row.
He needed a break.
Yeah.
He just had to open up his mind a little bit, bro.
Yeah.
And his TP.
Well, in 2007, he only played 1 game, so I don't know if that should count either.
We're whittling it down here, okay?
Yeah. But when he played, he was a good receiver out of the backfield, so that's why he got him on my list.
Okay. Who all had him? 1. I had him too, so that's 2.
There you go.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
there-
There
Okay,
you
you
go.
got 2.
Get a partner on one of these, Ray.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're moving on to you there, Drew.
Well, I have another receiver. I went with old Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
So did
I also
I.
have Jalen Waddle.
got this one,
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
well.
that a 6?
Dad, you have Waddle?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Waddle has 4,000 career yards with the Dolphins in 4 years so far. He has 700 right now, but his first 3 years he's got over 1,000 yards, barely in 2 of those seasons. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to it this year or not, but he's a productive receiver for them every year. I mean, obviously once Tyreek showed up, he became the number 2, but I think that first year, I mean, he was a big receiver for him. I mean, he's just another fast deep guy. I mean, he's a good possession receiver too, I think, as well. I think he's kind of learned since Tyreek's been there. He's got to be able to do these other routes too as well. But he's just another great receiver that I think pairing with a great quarterback like Dan Marino can even bring. I mean, we saw him a little bit when he was with a great receiving core in Alabama, what he can do. I mean, he was able to do that with those great receivers. So I think here he's just fine. So I like Waddle.
Yeah. And Waddle this season has 54 grabs for 700 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's just a down year for the entire Dolphins offense.
It's hard when you have 3 different quarterbacks start games. You can't.
Not only that, but I'm not sure that, how many of them are NFL quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like, Tua clearly is an NFL quarterback, but I mean, like, is Skylar Thompson really good enough to be an NFL quarterback? I don't know.
We know your pain.
Oh.
Anthony Richardson sucks ass.
I don't even want to talk about that trick play last week.
Yeah, what was that? Who's your receiver throwing the ball to, Ray?
Dude, I don't know. To the other team.
I just want to point out the Colts fans brought up their own pain. None of us pointed it
Yeah,
out.
I haven't been able to talk to anybody about this shit for like 2 months.
You didn't talk to Emma and Callie about it?
I can't talk to them.
No.
Well, it's probably even harder now that the Steelers are playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife hasn't been paying full attention to that.
She pays attention to fantasy football, though.
Oh my god.
That's all she talks about it. Where she's like, man, my team did good this week. And I'm like,
Her team's been like tearing it up in her family league. She was in first for like 3/4 of the season. I don't know if she ended up in first or second going to the playoffs. But yes, it's like every 3 minutes. If one player gets like 6 yards and she gets a half a point, she'll ooh, I got a half a point. Wait. I'm just like, yes.
So she, it's been a long time ago, like probably week 4 or 5 in the NFL season. Just randomly, I got a text from him that said, Jalen Hurts, baby. And it was after Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown. So I was like, yeah. But I was like, why is she cheering for Jalen Hurts? Well, then she's like, sorry, I was supposed to send that to somebody else, but it works for you too. She's like, but he's on my fantasy team. So then for like weeks after that, every single week, if Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown, she'd be like, Jalen Hurts, baby. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Jalen Hurts fan for a while. She's still kicking in the playoffs, I think.
I kicked old Alex out of the playoffs this week.
Who did I kick out? Wait, which league are you talking about?
The Holtz League.
Oh, I suck at that league.
See, now I'm bad in the other one.
Yeah,
I'm kicking ass in the other one.
Yeah, you and me are in the final four.
Yeah.
It's you, me. Is that Bob? Or I can't remember who Vinegar Strokes is.
I don't know.
Vinegar
I
strokes?
think it's Bob.
Dude, the names in that league are just outrageous.
They are.
I only know who you two are, then the other ones, I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, you always know who Wade and I are. We don't change our names in any league.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess we can talk about the Dolphins. Yeah, Waddle was unanimous. So, and who just did that?
I did.
You drew. So, we're back to Uncle Doug.
Yep. And this is my last pick.
I only have one pick.
I have one guy left.
I went with Nat Moore.
How did I?
Nat
I have him.
I looked at him.
That's
but
who I have.
picked him.
Okay.
That's 2. Okay.
Yeah. He played for the Dolphins from 74 to 86 for 13 years. Had 510 receptions for 7,500 yards, 14.8 yards per reception, and 74 touchdowns. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at him. I just didn't think I could go with 6 receivers and 1 quarterback.
I'm doing it.
You should have seen that.
I said I was letting old Marino
Yeah,
fling it
I'm
around,
right
Robert.
around.
And I'm not letting Russ cook. I'm letting Marino eat. That's how we doing this.
I'll
You
say,
should've-
we got Dan. We're going to give him targets. That's what I was thinking.
You should have listened to the Vikings episode. 'Cause I think that was all receivers, wasn't it?
I did. I listened to that one.
Yeah.
Their receivers were nuts.
They were-
The Vikings are
Pretty good ones
nasty.
there.
Their offense is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. They're another team though that their defense isn't so crazy. A lot of their all-time great defenders are on the defensive line.
On their
Right, yeah.
quarterback.
Alan Page and old John Randall aren't guarding receivers.
Vikings last week. The one that came out
Yeah.
last week.
That's
Yeah.
Alex, but you're forgetting. Paul Krause is the savior to the
That's
Vikings
right, Paul
defense.
Krause. Yep, Paul Krause.
Harrison Smith make it.
Harrison Smith. Yep.
Yep.
I love some Harrison Smith. Yeah.
He's fucking good.
He is good.
He just had a really good game this last week.
He's old now too, and he's still
Yeah.
tearing it up.
All right. Well, Wade, I think we're back to you, buddy. You got one more player for us?
I did. It's kind of funny because I think Robert was making fun of him just a little bit ago. I put Jarvis Landry.
So do I.
Well, here's my thought process, Robert.
Same as mine. See, it was-
Almost everybody else up there is a giant deep threat.
Yep.
Jarvis Landry is the king of catching 12 7-yard routes.
Hey,
That's
he
what
caught.
we need.
He played 4 years in Miami and caught 400 balls. He is a possession receiver. He, like you said, we have a whole bunch of speed demons up there. We need a guy to go across the middle, go underneath, and catch some balls for us.
I like it.
Yep.
Raise your hand
why
if
don't you like
you had Jarvis Landry.
Tell us.
I don't know.
Wade, me, is that?
You had him?
Yeah.
Who else had Jarvis?
That's
Is
it.
it just
I
the
did
three of us?
too. So that's three.
Oh, 4. Okay.
That's
No,
three.
3. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
So I take it you're not a fan.
I mean, I'm not a hater of Jarvis Landry. If I was gonna put somebody from that era of Dolphins teams, I would put Devontae Parker on. But I get what you guys are saying. Like,
But again,
It's-
Devontae's another deep threat.
I know, yeah, that's
Yeah.
you guys are just kind of taking in possession receivers and stuff. I mean, Jarvis Landry did go to the Browns and suck, but he was good. He
We
was
put him on the Browns.
decent.
I brought him up on the Browns episode.
Oh God,
That just shows you how about the Browns franchise, Robert.
but
Josh Gordon, number 1.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But
You can tell us you hate it. It's okay.
no,
I told him I hated Sid Luckman last week. About 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
there
you
for
were
that.
having that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm out of players.
I think
So am I.
Yeah, me too.
So Ray.
Yeah,
Only
I'm-
one pick left.
Oh, just one?
Okay,
Okay. All right. Not
okay.
as bad as I thought.
So with my final pick in the mediocrity draft, I chose Chris Chambers.
I thought
I
about
love
Chris
the
Chambers.
Yeah.
I-
Okay,
him.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at Chris.
Nothing outrageous. Okay, Ray.
You know who I wanted to put on here, but he just didn't do it for long enough. I really wanted to put David Boston on here. Remember David
I
Boston?
remember him. He was really talented. Was a head case.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played in Arizona for a little bit.
I think
every
he was.
receiver ever.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Every receiver ever.
Well, that's also
You're not wrong.
no. It was like 2 weeks ago after AJ Brown made his comments to the media about their passing game or whatever.
Yeah.
Marty Smizer texted me and was like, "What is it with these receivers?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's a prerequisite to play receiver to be like this. Like how many other than Larry Fitzgerald who didn't?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's nuts."
Jerry.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right, Jerry.
Heinz Ward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Most time the receivers are divas.
I mean, we only
Yeah.
come up with 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a couple more, but I think the point's proven.
Yeah. All right. That's everybody though.
Yeah. You want to hear some stats for Chambers?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I can read those off. So he's a one-time Pro Bowler. He started 90 out of 100 games in the 7 years in Miami. 405 receptions out of his 846 targets. 5,688 yards with 14 yards of reception and 43 touchdowns.
Pretty good.
So pretty solid.
So, Robert, I did notice that the number one player in your franchise history in reception yards was brought up, and you didn't get mad about it. Is that a new strategy we're trying?
There we go.
I mean, I like the Mark brothers. So I'm not a Johnny Morris hater. Any of that.
I'm glad you remembered his name because I did.
I was about to ask Alex, do you remember his name? Because I didn't think you did.
I mean, the leader in receivers yards for the Dolphins, at least it's a receiver, not a halfback.
A white halfback from the 50s.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, that was great. Sorry, Drew.
That's whatever. I'm used to it.
All right. Well, we got what?
3 in.
11 guys. And 3 of them in. Marino's in. Waddle's in. Is that it?
Tyreek Hill.
Oh, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I skipped right over him in the second one.
Yep.
Yep. So we got 2 receivers and a quarterback in.
Okay.
Anybody have any things they want to correct right off the bat?
Anyway, we can get you out of Zonka. Zonka was a great running back. He just doesn't really fit 7-on-7. More like catching the ball and running routes and stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was trying to think of American Gladiator reference, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take him off.
I do love me some Zonka.
He was a monster.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
He broke his nose like
But who do I want
7
to
or
go
8
to?
times, like while playing in Miami, and just like kept playing.
Aren't like him and Allstott like the 2 all-time great fullbacks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with Super Duper.
Well, that's one of the Marx
All
brothers.
right. So one of the Marx brothers is in.
There we go.
Okay.
Now we gotta get the other one in.
That's right.
And then you got another one down there. What do you think about old Chambers?
I was trying to remember him from like when we were younger, and I can't. I can't remember him. And he had some pretty good seasons.
He did.
And usually, I remember something like that. I could not remember him to save my life.
Let's see.
It's
Who
bugging
do I
me.
want to take off? I'll go with Moore. I'll go on Moore.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah. That more.
We didn't get anybody else in, but we got somebody removed. So
That's right.
Yeah, I think I'll hop off the Ricky Williams train. He'd probably
Yeah.
bring a lot of problems to the team anyway.
Because that matters in 7-on-7.
Yeah. Give me Jarvis Landry. Give me the possession
Get the
guy.
fuck out of here.
yeah.
After all that?
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy, now it's back to me. Well, I'll go to Clayton.
All right. So
Right.
the other Marx brothers in.
All right. They really got some pretty nice weapons.
Mm-hmm.
They
Well,
do.
we're up to 5 in now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
Yeah.
Looking at Warfield, Moore, and Landry for our last 2 spots. So only 3 guys for 2 spots. So
I think we got 6 in.
do we?
Oh, no, wait, never mind. Warfield's not. Never mind.
Well,
Warfield threw me off. My bad.
here we go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take my Landry pick off, and I'm going to Warfield.
All right.
Well, we got somebody in anyway.
That's right. Got Paul in.
I'm a little disappointed in your Landry leaving, but you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Robert was doing after all his hatred, so I'll let the last 2 duke them out.
So we got Nat Moore and Jarvis
1, 2,
Landry.
3, 4, 5, 6. More than Landry.
So it's me, Wade, and Robert at Landry, and the other 3 of you at Moore.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many? I guess what were more stats like?
Let's see, have like 8,500 yards,
7,500.
75.
72 touchdowns.
74 according to
Oh, 75.
Football
Oh.
Reference.
Yeah, well, Landry only has 22. I'll go to Moore.
I mean, I don't care that much. Do you, Alan?
No, I don't care.
Yeah, we can all go to more.
I was literally just trying to have something different than what we already had. That's all I was trying to accomplish. So it's not that I'm a Jarvis Landry fan.
Now I see what he was pulling here, and I'm sad I fell for it. God dang it.
Robert's over here playing chess, not checkers, right?
I mean,
Right.
Moore will just probably be on the bench anyway, and then the 5 receivers will be out there.
The rest of them are going to tell him you're going to run a 5-yard slant. You're going to like it.
That's some hella speed.
Somebody's got to snap the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's
Yeah.
Dan Marino would be smiling all the time.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, maybe they can play in 40 and below weather too. Unlike some of the guys we have now.
Yeah.
Marino could rifle it in there in some bad weather.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen Marino play in bad weather. We saw Tyreek Hill play in bad weather.
Yeah. Warfield played in Cleveland before he went to Miami.
Yeah. So at least a few of them could play. I don't know about the rest of them. Not saying they can't. I just don't know. So,
All right.
I'm sure more do.
all right. Well, there is our Dolphins offense with Dan Marino and a bunch of hellfire and brimstone running down the field.
Let's see how this defense goes.
And
boys.
let's check out the
Yeah.
Dolphins defense here. So, Robert, you got a defensive player for us?
Yeah, I'll start it out with I had one linebacker. I did put Zach Thomas on there.
As did I.
As did I.
Did you, Wade?
Yeah. I was unsure about it, but I did it.
Drew, did you?
I did not.
Neither did I.
I mean, he's obviously a really great linebacker. I don't know if his game translates as much to 7-on-7, but he did have 17 interceptions, 4 for touchdowns, and then obviously he has the out of this world tackle numbers with 1,042 solos and 1,640 total tackles, 5-time first team All Pro, 2-time second team. I figured, I mean, he could cover some running backs and maybe drop into the middle of the field a little bit.
He is a Hall of Famer now. We can't say that
Finally.
now.
He was not a Hall of Famer
Last
the last
time,
time
yeah.
I came on and did.
Yeah. We talked about it with a couple of our guys. Old Ken Riley for the Bengals is now a Hall of Famer. Darrell Revis is now a Hall of Famer.
A couple more.
Yeah, there's some more guys that we talked about. Now they are in.
There's like 5 of them.
Yeah, like Gradishar from the Broncos.
Yeah, he's into that middle linebacker. Yeah, so
Maybe somebody's listening to us out there.
That's right. That's right.
There was like an offensive lineman that we talked about that got in, I think, too. I just can't remember which one it was.
Devin Hester got in. The GOAT. But old Cribbs doesn't have a gold jacket.
So he played in Cleveland. I'm not even sure if they elect people from that franchise in the hall.
No. Oh, no.
I think Jim Brown, they locked it.
Yeah, that's right.
Jimmy's going to fucking hate us.
Oh, wait. Didn't Joe Thomas get in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he did get in. Yeah,
That's-
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he should have, yeah.
Yeah, but then Jimmy was
Didn't
like,
like
I can't,
Joe.
Not a
yeah,
big
he didn't
Joe
like
Thomas
Joe. He was
fan.
like, I can't believe you guys put Joe Thomas on there.
He's a loser.
That's true.
He's a loser.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
He was blocking for Johnny Manziel. What do you want him to do?
And the 9 other guys, they
Yeah, literally. Like he played like 10 seasons for the Browns, probably blocked for like 28 quarterbacks.
Yeah. The best one was like that Derek Anderson guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had one season of like 28 touchdowns, 4,000 yards. Then
Going
he
to
fell off.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, probably.
18 touchdowns for Josh Gordon,
Yeah, that
10
one-
for the rest of the team.
They had one like weird year where they had like Braylon Edwards and Kellen Winslow Jr. before he lost his mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the
Yeah.
Derek Anderson guy.
Yeah.
And they had this year and they won like 9 or 10 games. And the Derek Anderson guy threw for like 4,000 yards and like 28 touchdowns. And Braylon Edwards had like over 1,000 yards. And Kellen Winslow had like 800. And everyone was like, wow. Very next year, right back to shit. All of them just went poo or left or lost their mind and went to jail.
I like how you're like Braylon Edwards, Kellen Winslow, and you're like Derek Anderson, the guy. Like you keep going guy at the end of his name.
The guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was making my list, I was a little disappointed. I was like, dang, we just don't have a lot of depth. But then I made my Bears list, and they were
Whoa.
made me feel a lot better.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
All right. Well.
You gotta load up the gun. People are shooting at you all
Yeah, dude,
night.
you gotta put a shield up or something.
You
My
gotta start
God.
firing back at everybody.
Yeah.
You gotta put them on their toes, Drew.
Unfortunately, the rest of us in the room still have our franchises to go. So
That was the first one to go.
Remember, I was still nice during the Bears episode.
You're gonna have to take some because Ray's been dealing it out while you've been gone.
Man. All right.
It don't matter. We beat him in the Super Bowl, so it's whatever.
I really thought you were gonna say that last week.
I can't say it every week. Just every other week.
all right. Well, Drew, you got a Dolphins defensive player for us?
I do. I have old Xavier Howard.
I have Xavier Howard as well.
So
Oh.
me too.
I do too.
Yeah, that was
Um,
good.
He was a lockdown corner for years in Miami.
He was.
I mean, he retired last year, or is he just hurt this year? Or is he just done, Robert?
I think just kind of over time, corners just kind of slowed
Oh,
down.
this is the last year he played was 2023, so I didn't know what happened if he just called it after last
I couldn't
year.
even tell you honestly.
Because he led the league in interceptions twice with 7 and 10.
I thought
Finished,
yeah.
finished third in defensive player 1 year. He was just a really solid corner for a long time. There, say it felt like every week during that one when he had the 10 interceptions, like every week he was making some magnificent interceptions. Like a lot of them weren't just like easy picks. He was like I remember that one Lions game, like that one-handed pick, like in the end zone or whatever. Like it was crazy. I don't know. He was a really good corner though. So, but
I thought he was gonna mess around and win Defensive Player of the Year that year. He had all those picks.
Yeah.
But, like they gave it to T.J. Watt. because the NFL is just infatuated with pass rushers.
It was one of Aaron Donald's years.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It has become the sack award
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah,
So how many had him?
I had him.
I had
One,
it.
two,
We all
three.
did. Yeah.
Everybody. Okay.
Look at that. And unanimous.
All right.
All right. Well, Uncle Doug, do you got somebody for us?
I do. Sam Madison.
I also have Sam
I have
Madison.
Sam Madison.
So do
as
I.
well.
Same here.
Yeah.
So that's 6.
Yeah.
There we
Sweet.
go. Keep rallying.
Yeah, we're doing good. Yes, Sam played for 9 years for the Dolphins. Had 31 interceptions, ran a couple back for touchdowns, couple fumble recovery, or 4 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles, had a sack. Just a solid corner.
Yeah, he's good for quite a while.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple corners and a linebacker, and both corners got in so far. So I think we're doing good. Wade, you got another one for us?
Yes, I have Sam Madison's partner, Patrick Surtain.
So do I.
Yep.
So
too.
do I. Well, yeah.
There was a brief period of time for 2 or 3 years in the early 2000s where the Dolphins had 2 of the best corners in the league at the same exact time. And they were Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain.
Yep.
It didn't last overly long, but for a few years they were utterly dominant combo in the NFL. And yeah, they both made all pros. Surtain had 3 Pro Bowls right there, I think, right there together. Yeah, they're all in a row, 02 to 04. Yeah. I mean, he ended his career with 37 interceptions. He went to Kansas City at the end for a few years, but he was a really good corner. And for a brief time, he was an elite corner. Just pretty much like Madison.
There's not a whole lot of corners, I feel like, that historically have super long careers. I feel like that the shelf
Yeah,
life for that
I
position is
agree.
just short.
You have to have such a high level of athleticism.
Yeah.
To run with all those young guys, it's just hard to maintain that, I think.
Yeah.
Without moving to safety.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the exact same answer, so I think you're onto it there.
And everybody had Surtain as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Yeah.
I think we're to you, buddy.
Where do you, Ray?
All right, hold on. Make sure I got the right guy. Yep, that's the guy. Okay. I went with Jake Scott.
I also have
Jake
Jake
Scott
Scott.
as well.
So do I.
Yeah, so I do
Yep.
too.
Everybody did? Holy crap. I'm batting 1,000 right now.
That's 5 guys, and 4 of them are unanimous.
All right.
Hey, pretty good.
Yeah.
Quick defense.
5-time Pro Bowler, 2 All-Pro, 2 Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. Let me get the stupid screen off mine. Okay. 6 years in Miami. Started all 84 games. 35 interceptions. 7 fumble recoveries. And yeah, that's all the stats we got. Pretty solid freaking defender, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty corner heavy. He's kind of our first. He played free safety, so I mean he could roam the field. Wouldn't necessarily have to guard guys man to man because you got at least 3 other corners that can do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shaping up to be pretty nasty.
Yeah.
It is. It is. All right. Well, I think we're around to me now. I went with another free safety though, and I have none other than Brock Marion. Oh, am I a solo here?
I think so.
Uh-oh.
Oh, damn! Ruined our streak.
At least it wasn't me this time.
I only have one player left after this, so
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've had everybody so far. But yeah, no, I don't know. He just kind of stood out in my head. I don't know, maybe because he played like the first half of his career in Dallas, so I saw him all the time. But he was a good safety. He played 6 years in Miami, ended up with 20 picks in those 6 years, returned a couple of them for touchdown. He even had one sack in his time in there, and about almost 550 tackles. So nice safety. Yep, that's all I got. So I think we're back around to Dolphins fan Robert.
Yeah, I was making my list, and this guy didn't play for very long. His prime's really not in Miami, but I said screw it, and I put Jalen Ramsey on.
Jalen Ramsey.
It's kind of cheating, but I went with it.
Yeah, I wanted another corner. He kind of just did like a little matchup thing. I didn't even write down his stats because they're probably not great.
Well, the thing with Jalen Ramsey is I'm putting him probably on Jacksonville and L.A., so I couldn't put him in Miami.
Oh, are you guys doing like a 2-team limit? Or?
I thought we
Yeah.
were, weren't we?
Yeah, that's normally what
So
we
I
do.
thought this was this is his shortest stint, and I
'cause
figured
we talked about that.
I figure he's for sure going in Jacksonville, and he spent 4 years in LA and he won a Super Bowl. Was-
Oh, yeah.
That was just my reasoning because I first went, oh, Jalen Ramsey, Miami. Then
Well, I don't
Rams.
give a shit about the Rams.
Oh, no.
Well, thanks a lot, Robert.
A
But
lot of
yeah,
strays in here tonight.
I wasn't even thinking about the limit on teams, to be honest.
he's been in Miami for 2 years and has 5 picks. But yeah, I mean, he's got better seasons with the Rams and with Jacksonville. So
That was just my thought process. I don't know about you, Ray or Alex, if that's what you were,
To be honest
or
with
if you
you,
even remembered.
I just didn't even really look up Ramsey when the Dolphins, so it was just dumb luck, I think, more than anything. But yeah, we did talk about the 2-team limit, so it makes sense.
Okay.
All right, well, I think we're to Drew now, right?
Yeah.
Drew, what you got for us,
I
bud?
have old Dick Anderson.
Yeah.
So do I,
Yeah,
So do I.
and I'm out now.
Oh, I must have missed him. I didn't put him.
Well, okay. Anderson.
Am I the only one that's out, guys?
Yeah.
I'm out of guys.
I got 2 left.
I got one.
I'm pulling up his stats. I'm pulling up Oregon Senator instead, and that's not who I want.
You don't want to talk politics, Drew?
No. He had 34 interceptions. It's another safety. I thought adding another safety to the Dolphins. He was on their Super Bowl teams back then. He was on the perfect team. He was just another solid, I thought, safety defensive back for them that could fit in well with these. Because I think Dolphins are summer. They've got like 3 or 4 lockdown corners, and then just have 2 safeties roaming around. They can get up real tight, like Surtain them. And Howard can get up tight and not worry about people over the top. They've got these great safeties behind them. They don't have to worry about if they do get beat, they're back there. So, I don't know. Put another safety on there.
Solid reasoning.
Okay.
All right, I think we're to you, Uncle Doug.
I went with Glenn Blackwood,
Yeah. I did too.
I have him as well.
That's 3.
79 to 87. 29 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, 3 forced fumbles, 14 fumble recoveries. Just another solid defensive back.
So who all has people left?
I have one guy left.
One
All
down.
right. And you just have one, right?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Wade.
I have Brent Grimes.
I'll bring Grant.
I thought about Brent, but that's not who I have.
He played 3 years in Miami and made the Pro Bowl all 3 years. Had 13 interceptions in 3 seasons.
Okay.
Went for 4, 5, and 4. Made the Pro Bowl every year. He was a really good corner. He made 4 Pro Bowls in his career. I mean, he was just a really, really good NFL corner that played in the modern day where it's really hard to be a great cover corner. And he was a Pro Bowler every single year he was a Dolphin. So I thought he was a good last pick.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Cortland Finnegan end up in Miami for a little while?
He was there for a minute, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I always loved him. Not necessarily thinking of him as a Dolphin, but I always thought he was fun.
I just love watching him get his ass beat by
Andre Johnson put him in his place.
Yeah, he did.
Johnson smoked him.
Andre finally had enough and Put him down.
Like, that wasn't a stupid football fight. That was a real,
Yeah.
I'm ripping off your helmet and beating your face in fight. Like, I was like, yes.
I mean, he was a huge irritant. Like every week, people tried to like get at him, but Andre Johnson was like, "Nobody's stopping me. I'm going to hurt you."
Yeah.
Like,
They were the
Andre
only ones
Johnson's like-
down there.
I'm the one of like 6 guys that actually know how to fight. You fucked with the wrong guy.
yeah,
Most professional athletes can't fight a lick, but Andre Johnson can. Ooh.
All right. Well,
Okay.
is you Ray?
Yep.
All right.
All right, and with my final pick in the subpar draft, I pick Terrell Buckley.
Oh, he was good for a little while.
Buckley.
Yeah, I looked at him too.
I don't have him.
Yeah, I didn't figure.
No, I don't have him, but I looked.
He played 6 seasons in Miami. He's got a Super Bowl title with somebody, not Miami. He started 68. Started 68 games out of 96. 24 interceptions. Let's see. Yeah, 24 interceptions, 3 for touchdown. 6 forced fumbles, 10 fumble recoveries, and 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown, and an Uno sack with 258 solo tackles. So, yeah. Terrell Buckley. Buckley.
Is that everyone?
No, I have one
Now
more.
Drew's got another
No,
one.
Drew's
We're gonna
got
put.
another
Started
We're
off so good, guys.
yeah, we're gonna put 12 guys.
So my final defense back is Curtis Johnson.
Johnson.
He was on the Super Bowl teams. He was a cornerback. He's got 22 interceptions in 9 years with Miami. I was looking. I don't know. I always like to fill the slots at the very end. I kind of went with another corner instead of putting like a guy like Zach Thomas on. I don't know. I just thought just a little bit more ability being able to guard receivers and stuff over Zach Thomas. I don't know. So that's what I did at 7. So, but
So now we are complete.
yes,
I believe you're.
we are complete now. Oh God.
We had 4 6s in the first 5 picks.
And then Alex decided to put his one out there, and it all went down.
Who doesn't have Anderson?
I have
Oh,
him.
I got
Oh,
Anderson.
me. I'll come off Grimes and go to Anderson.
I was gonna go off of Ramsey and go to Grimes.
I was gonna go off Johnson and go to Grimes'
you-
way. So if
yeah.
you want to stay there, yeah. So if
Yeah,
you want to
okay.
stay there,
Hang on, give me. Yeah, I'll come off Ramsey and go to Anderson then.
Yeah.
Since we gotta get rid of Ramsey.
I'll go to
anyway.
Grimes from Johnson to Grimes, right? Whenever you.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. So I'm going from Ramsey,
Ramsey's gonna be
Anderson,
deleted.
So
To
Anderson's
Anderson.
in.
Yeah.
and then next one, Drew, go.
I'm going from Johnson to Grimes.
Johnson to Grimes.
So
Okay.
Johnson's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one,
And then I'm gonna go from Ramsey to Grimes.
Ramsey to
Ramsey's
Grimes.
gone.
So Ramsey's gone. Yeah.
Ramsey's
You
gone.
gotta save him for the other 2 teams.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
I'm glad I got some Grimes traction.
I'll say, and we got rid of a couple.
I thought
players
about
there,
him, and I
so-
thought I'd be the only one.
I just since that was a 1 vote.
Yes, I thought
think
about
they'll
him. I was
fight
like, I was like, someone else has him. We can rally.
He was
Yeah.
a beast there for a little bit.
He was,
For
yeah.
sure.
No, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if we're going that direction, why not? I'll come off Marion and go to Grimes. Why not?
Hell
Let's
yeah.
rally.
Marion
There we go.
Okay. I have. While you're changing this, Ray, I
to
do have
Grimes.
one serious question.
Okay.
I know Zach Thomas is a monster. Is he a good 7-on-7 guy? 'Cause
Eh.
we're not. Okay, because I put him down just because I think he's one of the best linebacker or defensive back guys that they have ever had. But
I mean, you get
as I was putting him down, I was like, I don't know how well he can cover.
I don't know either. I viewed this more of like a Jim Brown pick. Like he's one of the greatest players in franchise history, so I feel like he deserves to be here. But I don't know that he actually fits what we're doing.
He did have 17 interceptions.
yeah. I mean, I kind of viewed it like you got 4 corners and 2 safeties. I mean, you're playing some cover 2 man or something. Then you got basically Zach Thomas just in the middle of the field, catching anybody that runs a slant and taking their head off is the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
Or covering Mike Ditka or somebody like that. Maybe a tight. I don't know. Did he cover? I don't know if he really covered tight ends, honestly. I mean, he was more of a stop the run.
Pretty much what I'm guessing is he a good enough legacy player to where we can't upgrade by actually replacing him with someone who fits better?
Is later on when we talk about it, is he going to be their Achilles heel?
Yeah.
Whoever Zach
Yeah.
Thomas is guarding is just
Like-
going to go off.
Like, are we making the Dolphins actually worse by putting him on, or will we help their chances by taking him off the team?
I mean, he can't match up with anybody that's on our offense.
Yeah, so if he got a team like
that,
that,
he's not gonna.
he's
Okay,
not guarding
that's
us. Yeah.
Because if we don't think he's actually a good 7-on-7 guy, maybe us Thomas guys can carry out the rest of this list real quick.
Well, let me get rid of my Uno, and then you guys can do
Okay.
whatever. I'm gonna go to Grimes.
So Buckley is gone, and Grimes now has 5. He went from 1 to 5.
Wade has a way of doing that every time. His ones, I think, if we have percentages from all times, he has the most from ones
Yeah,
to
he
getting
does.
in. He
So-
has the highest percentage.
So who doesn't have Grimes
It
now?
would be me.
You.
I have Zach Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
rest of us would all leave Thomas to go to
So
Blackwood.
If we decide we're doing Thomas, then yeah, I'd be going to Grimes.
Blackwood was the
rest of
strong
us would
safety,
go to
right?
Blackwood, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Blackwood was
From what time period?
the 50. Nope. The early 80s. He was a strong safety. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Going to leaving Thomas and going to Blackwood. I mean, obviously, if we were going greatest Dolphins players of all time, I wouldn't be doing it. But I mean,
Oh,
for the
yeah.
context, yeah.
All right. Well, if a Dolphins fan's cool with it, I'll leave Thomas and go to Blackwood.
And I'll leave Thomas and go to Grimes.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it.
Peace.
So Grimes is in, Blackwood is in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Somehow I manufactured to get 6 out of 7 on this list. I don't know how that never happens.
That works.
look at you, Ray.
I
Moving
know.
up in the world.
Reading the
It's all
right,
right, Ray.
reading
I
the
won up
right
to
stats,
7
I
for
guess.
7 over here.
Oh.
No, wait,
Ooh.
6 for 7. I might have Grimes. I forgot.
You had Zach
Yeah.
Thomas.
I was 6.
No, I
out
didn't
of
have
7.
Thomas. I
I
had
didn't have Grimes.
my boy
yeah.
Curtis
I think it
Johnson.
was 6
Yeah.
for 7.
It works.
I didn't have Blackwood.
If I would have went with my gut and went with Grimes, I would have been better off.
I had 5 of them.
The guy that brought back like memories when I was going back to Dolphin stuff was his name Brett or Brian Hartline?
Oh, yeah, Brian
That wide
Hartline.
receiver.
Yeah. Yep.
He had a couple. I remember him having a couple big
Mhm,
years
he did.
back in the 2000s, and he kind of popped onto the scene. I remember seeing his name on some of their offensive lists, and I was like, I forgot about this guy.
Who was throwing him the rock?
Who was it?
I think Pennington.
Pennington or Tannehill?
Tannehill was later. Tannehill.
Tannehill.
I don't even know. I don't even know exactly what years Hartline played.
Tannehill was the same draft class as Russell Wilson.
What year does this guy play?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. He was in the 2000s for sure.
I think-
Was it
I
Culpepper?
was about to say Culpepper was
Dante
there for a year or
Culpepper?
two.
I don't remember. I mean,
Yeah.
any of these guesses
The
are
Dolphins QB timeline's a little messy in the early 2000s to mid 2000s.
About to get messy again.
decent. You think so?
I hope so.
You hope so.
Yeah, I just hope. Oh, we should have drafted Herbert 5 years ago, but
I think we've heard this story before.
Oh,
I
you
know.
can't look back like that. It'll haunt you forever.
Yeah.
Every team fucks up.
I mean, look at you guys with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
Give
See,
support.
I,
and this is
see,
what
I don't
get.
even take offense to that because it's like the last 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Ever since Andrew
Yeah.
Luck, you guys is
He was in Miami from 09 to 14. Hartline was.
Tannehill's got to be part of that, isn't he?
His big.
Maybe he is.
He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in 12 and 13.
That's got to be Tannehill.
So in 12, their quarterback was Ryan Tannehill. So I assume 13 was too.
His rookie year might have been 12. Yeah, 2012 was his first year.
Hartline's rookie year, he was catching passes from Chad Pennington. So I wasn't completely off.
I don't know. It's cool just looking back on a list like that because like Brent Grimes was a defensive guy that I was like, oh, I forgot about this guy. He was really good. And then when I saw that Heartline guy, it just gave me like flashbacks of him popping for a couple years. Then he disappeared.
No, I mean, if I really think about Dolphins defensive players, the two guys that popped in my head immediately are Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor, and obviously neither one of them are super good fits for this. So
Yeah.
Tannehill, I'm just looking at his stats on here. He in Miami, he was like 24-12, like touchdowns, interceptions. His first 2 years in Tennessee, he went 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and then in 2020, he went 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I guess.
Yeah.
When you can do the play action with Derrick Henry, but holy,
He had some nice years there for a little bit.
They did.
I remember, I think it was Tannehill's rookie season. The Dolphins were on Hard Knocks, and he looked so impressive in the Hard Knocks, like Tannehill did. And then he just came out his rookie year and just wasn't that good. And I was like, this is not the quarterback I saw in Hard Knocks. I mean, obviously I know they cut things and stuff, but I mean, like in Hard Knocks, he was just came across so impressive.
Well, he was a really good athlete. So I think
He played wide
he
receiver in
looked-
college.
Yeah, wasn't he at A&M?
A&M,
Yeah.
we saw him
Yeah.
play.
We saw him
So,
play.
like he looked good throwing the ball and moving around. Like he was a really good athlete. I think it took him a few years to actually learn how to play quarterback because he just didn't have quite the experience as some other guys. Which I think the NFL is bad at right now. They're so bad at actually developing quarterbacks.
They are.
They just either throw them out there and throw everything at them, and then the first time, if they struggle for a few games in a row, they just bench them, and then they do the whole bench them, bring them in, bench them, bring them in, and
Just
that
destroy their confidence.
yeah, but you can't get any momentum going. Destroys your confidence. You don't. It's terrible. I don't understand why everyone does it.
Not only that, but as a young player, you learn by making mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want the guy going out there and compounding mistakes over and over and over again, but you got to learn, hey, what throws can I make I can't make in this league? Like, you've got to be able to learn that.
Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions as a rookie. Still the record for a rookie. But the Colts wrote it out. And I mean, obviously, not everyone's going to be Peyton Manning if you let them write it out.
Right.
But
Right.
sometimes you gotta let them. You gotta let it go. There's going to be.
Well, not only that, but a lot of these teams that are drafting quarterbacks high and expect them to be good, your team's not any good. So,
Right.
like, even if they are playing decent, they're not going to just completely carry you to a bunch of victories.
Well, if you can't protect them, if you don't have an offensive line,
Mhm.
Let 'em sit.
you're going to run them.
Yeah, let them sit and learn while you're building the surrounding pieces
Yeah.
with the draft over a year or two, and they can learn. You can build more offensive line pieces, and then you put them out there.
But also, when your pieces can't score touchdowns because they drop the ball before the goal line, that also is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
You know what? That happened a couple times this weekend.
Well, so one of them was Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan fucking dumbass Taylor.
I think there was another one too, but I can't remember who it was.
Well, somebody this weekend
it's insane how frequent it happens.
was it?
I know.
Who was it? Somebody this weekend went to change hands and then like threw the ball out of the back of the end zone.
Jeez.
Just freaking ridiculous.
We kind of got way sidetracked.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
MVP.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about an MVP of Dolphins lore, other than Dan Marino, but I don't remember the year.
84.
84.
Oh
Ooh. I was newly born in that year.
Nearly.
Newly born, you know?
newly born.
Newly.
I like it.
Yeah.
I thought you said nearly.
No,
I was like, how were
newly.
you nearly born in 84? So you talking about 85 or what?
Yeah, you know, I had to hang out in there for a little bit longer, and then I was like, hey, Mom, it's time.
85 has come.
But anyway, back to Dan Marino. My mic just fell out. I don't have enough hands for this shit.
Robert
only got
assist.
one.
Robert, he needs an assist.
Robert Alvin, I'll hold your mic.
Oh my.
I got it. It's back. But Dan Marino of the aforementioned Miami Dolphins won the MVP. In a pretty solid victory vote-wise. Where he threw for over 5,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 17 picks. And he ran the ball 28 times for -7 yards.
Okay.
I'm going to hope that majority of those were kneel downs.
Probably.
5,000 yards.
But in second place was none other than a Los Angeles Ram of the name Eric Dickerson, who ran for 2,105 yards, which I do believe is still the current single-season record.
Yeah.
And 14 touchdowns and caught 21 passes for 139 yards, but no touchdowns. And then in third, if we're going to talk about another favorite, Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears ran for 1,684 yards, 11 touchdowns, and caught 45 balls for 368 yards, and again, no touchdowns. So I'd say Walter Payton had a really great season. I just don't know that I want to put him up there with these other two right now. But we have two historic seasons here, one by a quarterback, one by a running back. So I think there is something here to talk about.
How many picks did he have?
17.
17.
What were the team records that year?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
The Rams were 10-6, and the Dolphins were 14-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Yeah.
Well, Marino got the yards and the touchdown record.
Right.
So and him being a quarterback, it's going to be.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised Dickerson only had 14 touchdowns in 16
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I think
what-
that was probably kind of the deciding
The
factor.
record now's in the 30s, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wait,
I thought
The
Ladainian
rushing touchdown record?
is it
doesn't.
rushing touchdowns or total touchdowns?
Is it yeah, you might be right.
Because
don't
there's
know.
two different ones. There's just rushing and there's total.
Tomlinson has one, I thought.
He has one or maybe
I think he has
two at one
both.
point. Yeah.
He had both, yeah. I know the total is over 30. I think it's like at 31 or 32.
I think so.
I think rushing's only like at 28 or 29.
Something like that. Yeah. So I think way back in the day before it got broke 4 or 5 times.
It's the single season rushing touchdown record is 28 by LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think he had like 3 receiving touchdowns. I think it's over 30. I think he's at 31.
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Because I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. There was like a few seasons there, like back to back to back, where we had people break it. Like LT broke like Sean Alexander, who had done it like the year
Alexander, right.
before, and Sean Alexander broke like Priest Holmes, who had done it like
Holmes,
2
yeah.
years before that.
Well, I think the record before Priest Holmes was an Emmett Smith record
Yes.
during one of the 90s runs where he had like somewhere in the low to mid 20s.
It was like 25, I think.
Yeah. So it was Emmett wasn't too terribly before Priest Holmes, really.
Yeah.
Just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I think
Did
in.
Marshall Falk break it?
Oh,
I thought Marshall Falk broke it before Priest Holmes.
He might have had total. I don't know about just rushing because he got a lot of passes too.
Maybe I'm off on that, but I thought he had one crazy touchdown year where he broke.
He had a
record.
total of 26 one year. I don't know where that's in
Marshall-
2000.
Marshall Falk's top rushing season was 18.
He had 26 total. one
26
year.
Yeah.
total. So I don't know.
I don't know if that was maybe the record
That's
before.
that's in the year 2000. So I don't know where it's at that
Yeah.
point.
I felt like he had it. I felt like he got a record, like a touchdown record.
And that's crazy. That year Marshall only played 14 games.
That's nuts.
That's one of his. That's his MVP and Offensive Player of the Year.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, LT's got the other one too. It's 31.
Yeah. So Drew's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that year pretty clearly. I mean, he literally got 2 touchdowns a game. I mean, every single game he was multiple touchdowns. Every single game. I mean, some games he had 3 or 4. I mean, then he might have a game where he didn't have any, but then he'd have 3 or 4, and then it's just like, damn. It was nuts.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at this, and Dickerson has less than a touchdown a game, and Dan threw 3 touchdowns a
Yeah.
game.
It just sucks.
That's kind of. I mean, it does suck for Dickerson.
It
'cause That was
does.
a great
I'll
season.
die.
But
Yeah,
I
90%
think
of
you
the
could-
time he win MVP, especially like
Yeah.
back then, like before today's NFL.
Mhm.
oh yeah,
90% of the time he'd be the MVP, probably 95% of the time. But it just happened to he did it during the greatest quarterbacking season ever to that point.
Yeah.
well, and I think too in 1984, I mean they hadn't seen people rush for this many yards, but they had seen a lot of running backs rush for a lot of yards before.
Yeah.
This was the
Yeah.
first time a quarterback had kind of gotten over that 5,000
yeah.
yard, and they were like, "Oh, well, that's never gonna happen again." Oh,
And the 48 touchdowns.
yeah.
right, yeah, and that lasted for a long time.
Because
And-
OJ had already gone over 2,000,
Right,
right?
he had.
Now you got
So-
guys like Justin Herbert throwing for 5,000 yards a year. It's just a different style of play.
You are right though, Wade with the thing. Marshall had 26 in 2000. Well, Emmitt Smith had 25 and 95, And then Marshall got 26 in 2000. Priest Holmes got 27 in 03. Alexander had 28 in 05. And then Damelin had 31 in 2006.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah, it is.
so before
What's
95.
that, 10 or 11 years, changes 5-6 times.
Yeah.
So as much as I love my Rams, I have to let Dan keep his MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
too
think he
hard to-
definitely earned it.
Yeah, I'd leave it with Dan as well.
My question,
That.
I think it'd be interesting to see if these two guys played in today's NFL and had the same stats. What would the voting look like?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they really like to give it to quarterbacks,
They
but
definitely do.
also, I mean,
If you rush for 2,000
no one's rushing
yards,
for 2,000 yards much. But
we'll see if Saquon can.
yeah,
Which he got nicked up this last week, but I still got through in fantasy. So
Yeah.
I think he still had. I think he had like 65, 70 yards still. So it wasn't like he
Yeah.
didn't play the whole game. Like he still had some
Mhm.
yards, but it hurt a little.
He
bit.
missed like the whole second quarter.
So
Yeah. All right. Well, are we unanimous? Letting Dan keep it.
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up our Miami Dolphins episode. And we would appreciate you coming or tuning in next week for our New York Jets episode.
Benny and the Jets.
Well, I think we're going to, maybe see some Aaron Rodgers,
ugh.
Yeah. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah. I'm seeing ghosts, Coach. I'm seeing ghosts.
Who was that other one? Sanchez.
Oh,
Butt
butt fumble. Yeah.
Butt fumble, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go with Chad Pennington on this one.
We're just making fun of the Jets. We don't have a Jets fan here to make fun of.
Geno Smith.
Because no one's
Oh,
dumb enough to be
Geno
a Jets
Smith.
fan around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, we appreciate you tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.